Hello, Core 3 Beauties. This is Marcos, and this is our week 12 going to week 13 recap briefing video for our Core 3 Design Studio class at Parsons. It's going to be a busy time now for everybody as we are moving into the home stretch at week 7 in our project, week 13 in the semester. We've got 3 weeks left coming up now. And this means you've got to be careful and strategic about planning your time in order to complete your final project, both the digital and print aspect of your final project, as well as incorporating it into a full presentation that you'll be giving on week 15 on the 9th or the 11th of December. And I want to make sure you guys are taking the responsibility to plan this out because time is limited. We've got Thanksgiving break coming up this week, a long weekend a long weekend that's important for acknowledging the things we're grateful for spending time fellowshipping with friends, thinking about bigger ideas, thinking about how you fit into the world, thinking about your plans, but also thinking about getting back to work once all that thinking is done and getting to a point where you utilize this long weekend not to fall behind, not to have that great realization on Sunday night that these three crying emojis, the weeping emojis, are showing, but to use it to get further along so that your last week of class before finals can be productive. But you really got to make sure you're planning it here. I heard lots of quiet murmurings about how people weren't ready to share with the other class because they didn't get much progress. Didn't like the sounds of that. You guys are squandering your time away, and it's going to be painful if you get to the end of the semester and you just didn't spend the time to fulfill the potential of your great concepts, your smart brands, and that you've already put a lot of time into. So make sure you're planning things out well and that you're able to be ready on that last week of class. So I want to encourage you, slightly threaten you, but in a loving way so that you will make sure that you are pressing as hard as you can. All systems go now, going on all pistons. Yes, take some time to rest, take some time to take care of yourself, stay healthy, but work super hard, spend many hours working on this project. It's your main project for the year or for the semester. And I want you guys to have the best results and outcomes that will be long lasting for you that you'll look back in the near future and the far future and feel good about it. So, okay. So as I said, we have individual reviews coming up this Tuesday. That's the next milestone for each of you. And I want all of you to be ready to go over where you're at. I don't care where you're at, and there's no missing this. We're making special accommodations. We're doing it online so you can work at home and you can kind of start cashing in on the long break. But that break meaning quiet time for you to be working more, not time to be out partying or doing other things outside of your schoolwork. So plan for that. I'll send a schedule out, which will probably be based on the last schedule. And then we'll meet on Zoom one-on-one. I'll give you quick feedback. We only have 8 minutes, so be ready, be on time. And apologies in advance if I fall behind. I'll try not to. But that hopefully will give you a chance to kind of assess where you're at, and I'll give you feedback as much as I can and be able to make sure you're on track for the rest of the week. And then on week 14, next week after this coming week, we'll have two half class sessions. So again, I'm designing this to maximize the amount of work time you have and still give you each time to get feedback directly from me and your classmates. But working on those on the day that you're not in class, or you can be in class, but working from class if you want, but working on your project, that's a solid 3 hours besides the other hours in your day that you must put in to your project. All right, and then after that, we have final reviews on the 9th and the 11th. Half the class on one day, half the class on the other. Everybody has to attend both fully. We'll have guest reviewers giving feedback, so be ready to tell your story from the beginning and have your presentation ready, which will be a digital presentation with your printed analog piece in hand and ready to show, with the caveat that if that becomes a time problem or a money problem for printing it out, the A making machine will turn aside if you can't print it out, but I want you to print it out if possible. So plan to print it out, but don't freak out or melt down if you can't get it printed out. But ideally, everyone should print out their analog piece for the finals. But just know in the back of your mind, you can avoid that if there's an issue, but there must be an issue. Okay. All right. So basically, the next assignment, I just want to keep giving the assignments. You turn something in order to rack up your points for your grade. And like I said in the beginning, this grade will be assessed at the beginning, at the end of this, at the end of the project. And it's not a matter of getting points literally every week, but I will be looking at your progress and your work for every week in order to give those points at the end. So your next step is basically to do all the things I've been saying, like take the feedback from your last review, the cross cohort critique, and hopefully you guys got good feedback from our friendly neighbors in the class next door and insights onto how to move forward better on your projects. And hopefully you also got good insights on getting a sneak peek at what they're doing there and maybe learning something that might inform how you approach your project for your final reviews. So take that insight, take that feedback, and in the meantime, also share with me if you need, or we'll talk on Tuesday. But be sure you make progress enough that by the end of this next week, when you share, just informally do screenshots, create some, or do the presentation, however you want to do it, but post something by Thursday that showcases your progress. And basically, it should be that you are making progress so that another full week of work will get you to the finish line, with that last week of finals incorporated in there as a few days of work before the actual review. All right. So I've got a Google Drive for that up on the classic Google Drive, part 7, Analog Digital Design Development Part 2. And let's just take a look as we are getting closer to our journey to human flourishing across the beauty pathway. But design student Sally is in the darkness now. She is deep inside, and so are you guys. You're deep inside these final moments of getting finished. It's getting foggy, it's getting cloudy. There's lots of obstacles in the way. She's she's surpassed many obstacles as well. So you guys have been doing good, avoiding some of the pitfalls I've asked you to avoid, but there's still more things. Be careful what you step on. Stay away from those vices. Avoid those cute boys. You know the rule. You know the rule. Let me remind you, do not fall in love between now and finals. I encourage you to fall crazily in love after finals, but in the next 2.5, 3 weeks, there will be no falling in love in this class. Understand? I'm talking to all of you. Okay, so just make sure now that you're getting down and we've come a long way. So just props to you guys. We've come a long way, but this is a critical time. The sun is rising at the corner there, so there's hope. So be sure you navigate your way through the foggy, smoky darkness that is the next few weeks, and you come out the other side with a brilliant project. And again, do not fall in love. Okay, so just a quick review on the workflow. For week 13, we're going to continue to complete your design development. Right, you're not going to complete it, but you're going to continue towards completing it. Um, of your main design components, either both analog and digital or both. You're going to present your progress on Tuesday on our individual review. So be ready for that. Thursday, Thanksgiving, long weekend again. Prepare for a freak out on Sunday night when you realize the state of the semester and where you're at. That's to be expected. Go through the suffering, let the suffering inform you into being better. And then the sun rises on Monday and march into the week, one final week before the class. And there's lots of time there. So stay positive about it. It's okay. So prepare for your last round of design reviews on the week after. That will be those half days before the finals. We'll have class days, two half class days. And that's the week after Thanksgiving. Okay. And remember, after that, after in December, after the first week of December, it's finals time. But you guys can do it. I believe in you, and I know each of you have a lot to offer. And oh, and by the way, thanks so much for the work you did last week in the cross cohort uh, workshop, as well as the critiques. The workshop was a new thing, and I'm really grateful to the other faculty who planned and conceived and planned that. It was a lot of work, and they really wanted you guys to have a special experience. I know it was kind of annoying for some of us to be interrupted in the middle and to have to do something different, but I gotta say the results were great. I really enjoyed looking at each of your books and how smart and well designed and aesthetically cool you came up with, and the concepts you came up with to represent your experience in our class. And it's a reminder that that experience of our class, which has been a really special class, is starting to come to an end. And I want you guys to be thinking about that in retrospect, because we do have the class surveys, the teacher surveys, the class surveys that I believe have been posted up now. That I want to get 100% compliance. I want all of you guys to give feedback. It really matters. It means a lot to me to what you guys think of me. I've been telling you what I think of you all semester. Now tell me what you think of me. But I do recommend you wait as long as possible to do that and wait maybe till after your final review to give feedback. But I don't want to do it at the risk of you not giving feedback. So if you are worried about to give feedback now, but I would try to wait and get the full result, because right now you might not be feeling too good about the class or about where you're at. But I know for sure, because I've seen it so many times, that by the time you get to that last week and you give that presentation and you see the results of your work and what you're capable of, you're going to feel really great about how this class went and what you have to offer. And you're going to have a renewed or maybe a brand new confidence in yourself that you are pointing yourself towards graduation and that you're going to be a full-on realized professional designer with a lot to offer and skills and experience to show for it. So let's do the best we can to get to that point, and try to avoid all the obstacles that might be stopping you. Okay, I will see you guys online on Tuesday, and reach out to me with an email if you need to show me anything with feedback. I'll give you feedback. Take care, everybody.